This presser is all about getting you to ask questions. But before you ask questions, we tell you what we have, and then you can scrutinize us. We all know that the committee was unveiled some time ago. That is the NCC and all the components that made it what it is. And we took lessons from what happened in our maiden appearance in an Afcon. And of course, the ministry and the federation came together to really put their heads together to see how best we better what we had before. And here today, and of course, most of those committee members are represented by their various heads and chairmen in terms of logistics, finance, media, and of course the fundraising committee, all are represented here. But what's important to right now is just to set the ball straight. I want to start with the technical preparation for the federation. Mr. Ibufai, who heads that department, is not here, but we have the information in which we can share with you. The plan is so far to have the team depart the source of Gambia on the 27th of this month for Saudi Arabia, where the training camp will be held, until the 7th, when they will fly into Morocco to play the Moroccan national team. After that, they will fly into Banjul and be here for 3 days. 3 days, probably the 8th, 9th, and the team will leave on the 10th. The plan is to have the team on a chartered flight from Banjul to Saudi, and then from Saudi to Morocco. And then Morocco will join a commercial flight because it's one simple hop from Casablanca to Banjul, and then there will be a special flight to pick the team from Banjul here. For the team would, join a commercial flight from Casablanca to Banjul. And from Banjul here to Ivory Coast is going to be a special chartered flight, as usual. This is all being catered for. Mr. President was some time ago in Saudi Arabia, where he got support towards the national team, where all these funds will be paid directly to the service providers for the transportation and the accommodation of the national team in Saudi Arabia. That is during the training camp. Moving on to Banjul, when the team is here, as always, we hope to have an exhibition, a training exhibition match here at the stadium, because we think that's possible. Yeah, the date will be confirmed. There will also be a send-off where the battle flag will be handed over to team captain, probably at a dinner with the president at State House, as it was done last year. These are plans afoot. Hopefully we'll be able to execute them all in time for you to see. But this is what is happening on the technical side with the team, Mr. President. Yeah. Besides that, we want to make sure that the press is informed of what is happening, to make sure that at least a proper representation is made on behalf of the NCC and all the stakeholders who are responsible for making our outing into Ivory Coast a success. Now, besides the technical preparation, the logistics committee, Mr. Jase is here, will be traveling to Ivory Coast on Saturday with a 4-man team to identify the accommodation of the fans and, of course, all other officials, because we know that the team's accommodation is being taken care of by CAF, and the hotel has been identified already. But the team would live here, making sure that the fans that are being transported into Ivory Coast have a fitting, a measured place where they're going to stay for the duration of the tournament. So they'll be living here on Saturday and come back probably on Tuesday. That's on the logistics front. They will also confirm probably the airline that's going to travel, that's going to transport the players from Banjul into Yamoussoukro to finalize. On the financial side, also, we know, and this is something is good to mention, and because, remember, I'm just one of you, we are all critics. When the budget was proposed some time ago surrounding the preparation of the team to reach the finals of the Afcon, the budget that was proposed, was in its totality was going to take the Gambia to the finals of the Afcon 2023. That means if the Gambia, God forbids, and I'm going to repeat it, God forbids, fail to come out of the first round, the budget is absolutely zero. I hope I'm clear. We have a budget right now which is almost $388 million, revised. A revised budget which everyone associated with it have worked thoroughly. The Finance Committee, Madam Julia Cisse from the Finance Ministry heads that committee. We are able to sit with the Federation officials to work this thing out. That amount is to see us to the finals the day we're lifting the cup. If we fail to go that far, how much are we talking about? So I know some of us went afar with foul, how much, is 400 million. But let's be honest, 400 million is nothing to winning an Afcon. 400 million is nothing to winning an Afcon. $6 million. We're talking about teams whose budget are $10 million. And 20 and counting. But this is us. But just for the records, and for the purpose of educating all of us at the same time, that being critical doesn't mean that you cannot accept facts. Facts are facts. Don't be too opinionated to think that your opinion is a fact. It's only an opinion. Unless you resort to the facts which affects us all, which we all have to accept in one way or the other, we will always remain to cheat ourselves. So here today, this is what's on the table. The ministry, the finance, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Youth and Sports, the Gambia Football Federation sat together to work out this budget, and it is acceptable. What happened last time in Cameroon was that it's unfortunate. The preparation that was made and the budget presented was just to see us through to the first round. So which was sad, because we almost prescribe ourselves to fail. So we surprised all of us, we surprised ourselves, we surprised the country. Hence the reason why the Finance Ministry had to run back and forth trying to get money, because it was never budgeted for. This time around, the NCC and the Federation decided, you know what, we need to budget all the way. All the way. That is what took the budget initially, that 400 million that was mentioned. But here we are, revised, acceptable, adopted to 388 million almost, to see us lifting the trophy. This is almost $6 million, $6 million. If we are to make comparisons with other countries, I'm sorry, we'll be right down at the bottom. But that's who we are. Now, moving on quickly. The Media and Publicity Committee is here to drive all this thing. The fundraising committee had a package designed to attract Gambian businesses and partners to come forward and identify themselves with the national team's success. Today, we've been named as one of the best teams in Africa, 3 of the best teams in Africa, and we still remain skeptical about our team. Whatever is happening to our football, we cannot say that it's not progressing. Then we are defeatists. We've been here far too long. We know what was and we know what we are involved in right now. So progress is happening. It's being recorded. It's been recognized at the highest level of football in our continent. So who are we to say that we are not moving? So this is what we want the Gambian public and business to buy into. This is what we are putting out. The letters has been sent to all major businesses in the country, asking them to come forward and be part of a success story. Remember, it is about Gambia, not about me or Kaba or anybody. It's about all of us. So we hope they will respond in time to at least contribute to the budget that has been announced, so that we as a people can have a successful campaign in Ivory Coast. This is what we are talking about. We're looking for a GSM partner. We're looking for hotel partners. We're looking for energy, oil company partners, like, we're looking for bank partners. We're looking for any kind of partners who can come forward. We will accommodate you in a way. Whatever you have, yes, we have criteria. And I'm just perhaps let you know that we are targeting $10 million for any single individual exclusive partner who wants to come forward. $10 million if you want to become an exclusive partner of the national team. We know there are businesses out there who can do it. So, but anything that you have also will accommodate you. We'll entertain you because we can offer you something. Now, for the Media and Publicity Committee, we have a plan. Starting today from this presser. This press conference is meant to give out every single important information to you people for your consumption. We want to use all the mediums available out there. You are going to be that useful to us. You all have your platforms. You all have your programs. You all have. And I want to believe that at this moment in time, everything that we do in your sports program, like other countries, should be geared towards promoting how best we go into an Afcon, how best we have a successful campaign, how best you contribute to the setting up and the success of the fundraising drive by the NCC to make sure that enough money is accumulated to support the national team. And that, I believe, should be. I can go on and say certain things which I believe probably, I am very much aware of our situation as a country, and of course as a sport. If I was in another country, I would have been flying all over the world, running after our players, trying to find out their preparation, mental preparation, and what they are doing, to make sure that they are good, and then come back to our people. But we have to also understand our media landscape. We can wistfully talk about these things on bantabas and forums, we are not doing this, we are not doing that. But what is stopping you from doing it if you are in a media house? Why don't you fly to Paris right now or France and go and find out what Abdoulaye Diallo is doing? It's boosting, it's supporting our national team, it's supporting him. But on our local level, here we are, we can do that. How do we do that? We engage the people that matters in our game, who can at least sell the narrative, a positive narrative of what we are as a people. Then we can move on. We want to use the TVs. I am asking, I'm opening up to everybody in here. You have your platforms, you have your programs. Access us. Get to all these people and the others who are not here. Talk to us. Let's talk to the people. Let's talk to the people. Let's tell them what they need to know. Let's not be impossible. Let's not be bigots. Let's just be genuine, sincere critics. You are sitting on a TV program. We have a social media platform. We have the radio stations, the newspapers. Social media will come in. The visibility will be out. And everything out there. We want to use influencers. We want to use TikTokers. We've identified them. We want to use our artists, VIPs like the minister. Even if the president can add a word or two to what we have to say in terms of the fundraising drive, we'll get to him. These are our plans that we intend to do. At the dinner, as I said, last time it was just corporate. That's where we had people, institutions invited to come in with the team prior to their departure to Cameroon. This year, the same time, the same thing we wish to happen. We're going to sell and brief the president about it ASAP so that it can be fitted into the State House calendar so that we can have businesses all invited to come forward. But this time around, individuals would also be able to come in because we're going to ask them to pay at least $2,000. At least $2,000 or even more. It's just me thinking loud. But we might even charge $5,000 for an individual if you want to come in and be part of that dinner. Let's remember that every single dollar gathered at these events strictly goes into these coffers, at least in complementing what's on record here going to the stadium. We have artists to identify. The big ones we have, you all know them, the STs, the Nyanchos, the Attacks, Hussein Dadam, our Gambia, Dave Now. All these are people that we want to use to make sure that we raise funds. There is plan to have a concert where to be confirmed to make sure that at least the entire youthful population of the Gambia can come forward and put in a $500 to come into that concert at least as a means of their to show their support and contribution. Yep. We are trying to also put up a tour from Basse to Banjul through the governors and area council chairmen and women to at least put up a fundraising drive in place. Letters have been sent already to that effect, Jaula, I want to believe, to mobilize themselves. To mobilize themselves to use the conventional drive. The conventional drive, I mean, I'll come to the other, much talked about drive in terms of money transfers, contribution on SMS and all those things. But conventionally, that's what our people out there would understand. We go around with the public security. This is my contribution. Take my $2, take my $10, take my $100, I'm contributing. So that has been made public so that the governors and the area councils from URR, LRR, CRR, all coming down, even to West Coast region and even Banjul and KM, to be part of it. But that's not going to stop us from using the innovative approach in terms of using the money transfer platforms with all these other avenues that are available to Gambians, wherever you are in the diaspora. We have the visa platforms. There are a list of platforms that we have in here that we want to use, to make sure that at least people anywhere in the Gambia, wherever you are, whether you are a Visa card holder, you're a MasterCard holder, Amex, Discover, Apple, Google Pay, AfriMoney, QMoney, Table Pay, Nafa, Wave, all these things are going to be made available to the Gambian public to make sure that you contribute. Because there's no excuse for anybody to say that, no, I don't have this avenue, I don't have this app, I don't have this, if you want to, you can. We're equally talking to the regulator in the Public Utility Regulator Authority, that's PURA, to see how best, henceforth going towards the end of the tournament, the beginning of the tournament, that every single recharge, that needs to be some executive orders. Anybody who happens to make a recharge right now to buy credit, at least you can donate $1. At least you can donate $1. It was discussed with the Director General of PURA, to make sure that I'm taking it up with the individuals responsible, so that at least ASAP we can have this drive in place, so that at least the public, we are not leaving nothing to chances. We are not leaving nothing to chances because it's a Gambian thing. It is something that we all must believe in, something that we think we all, and you people all, let me say it, you can contribute. You can all chip in. Last time, Mr. President, we all chipped in. We all chipped in. We all contributed. It doesn't matter whether it's $1 or $2. It doesn't matter. But at least what we intend to do also with these, these platforms we're creating, if you happen to contribute anything, we'll be sending you, some sort of a certificate to show you that online that we thank and appreciate your contribution. That's something you can display anywhere, because that's your little pride. I have also done my bit to show the public. Yeah. We're also hoping that there's going to be a big send-off, for the team, depending on its departure from Banjul, which is going to be fitting, and we will all be involved. And of course, we want the biggest and the longest of convoys, even bigger than the president, to get the boys to the airport, wish them well, following the collection of the battle flag and the dinner, and let's wish them all well in Ivory Coast, so that at least what we wish for is going beyond where we stopped the last time, to make sure that our adversaries knows that the Gambia are back. We are deservedly one of the 3 best teams in the continent. Whatever the results we're experiencing right now, football is what we're talking about. Not wishful thinking, not I wish, not if I had done this, if we had done that, but it is about what happened. That's why we are where we are, as one of the best 3 teams in the continent. That's no fluke, guys. It's no fluke. We hope we can repeat it. We only have the big boys out there. So with our support, dedication, and commitment towards our national team, towards our country, this is what we expect, and this is how far we can go.
I want to speak to the private sector, the business community, and all the potential possible partners and sponsors. I want to assure you that the Gambian football, as you all witnessed, has been revolutionized in the past few years. The Gambian football has not been where it used to be. We have the caliber of players across the globe. We can pride ourselves that we have good players. We have the technical structure, a very competent one in place. The Federation has, over the years, increased in improving the standard. We can boast of a very highly professional national team, department, or environment. Thus, the results that we are receiving today. We've been receiving the fullest support as possible of the government. We've been working very closely with government over the years. We are very aware of the competing priorities, especially in the social sector. We are also appreciative of the global financial and economic situation. And any entity in a country cannot operate outside the macroeconomic situation of the country. We at the Gambia Football Federation and all our partners are fully aware of that. Hence, we appreciate government support, the mega resources that they're able to deny other sectors and put into football and other sports. But we also want to assure the government and also the citizens who own those funds that these monies are not going into vain. Sports and football is no longer fun and just physical fitness. It's a very big business industry now. Therefore, any dime or butu that we took from the government, the public coffers, put it into football or into this particular venture is worth the while. If you look at, you journalists know better than I, you can close your eye and give me a list of 200 Gambians who are playing across the globe at professional level, at all levels, from Senegal to China. And each of these people contribute to the country's GDP monthly, weekly, yearly. Gambia's economy has a big dependence on the remittance from diaspora. Let us all appreciate the fact that these football players and other athletes contribute a lot into that. We've seen a player would sign a contract, and within a matter of months, we'll see the change in the livelihood of his or her families. We can see it's very clear. So therefore, it's not just a joke, it's an investment. So let the public appreciate the fact that when you hear the amount 300 million or 400 million, it's nothing to take a national team to the Afcon. It's the lowest budget anyway. It's less than half of some countries. Not even talking about bigger ones. Even those we think are contemporaries, they have a much bigger budget. But as modest as we are Gambians, we will manage with that. So therefore, the monies that have been taken from the public coffers go into football is not being wasted. A good example, the squad of players that went from Cairo to Argentina for the World Cup, you know about how many of them are in the country without a contract now. Not more than 3 or 1 or 2 out of 22 or 23 players. 22. They are all out. And they are all contributing to the national development in one way or the other. They are lifting the livelihood of their families and by extended. Gambia, when you say family, it's not only your immediate family, it's everywhere. Even those in the street benefit from it. So therefore, we are calling on everybody to consider this as a national crusade, I would use the word. Of late Gambia, the focus on Gambian football has really, is unprecedented. If you can count the past 2 or 3 months or 6 months, how many scouting trips do we have in this country? Currently, there's a big one, maybe 2 at a time. Other day I was driving through Brikama, I saw a group of boys, more than 100 of them. Before I knew what the purpose was, only I saw them with carrying a bag full of football. Then I knew I said, what happened? They said there was a scouting mission at the Boxbar Stadium. Cherno is in town with this team, and many are coming. Even myself, I have so much direct contacts from potential scouts who are focusing on trying to come to Gambia and get players.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tamba, for that question. And I can assure you that all of these things have been put into consideration. I was in Afcon myself, and I was in the previous logistic committee. So things that had happened would be a learning. Let's also appreciate that that was our first time going to Afcon, first time at least at that high level. It's not the first time going to a CAF tournament, but at the senior level, because we've been to World Cup and others. At senior level, this was the first time, and we had issues. Just to maybe go a little bit more than just the airline, but to tell you, one of the reasons why Musa mentioned it here, that we are going to go to Ivory Coast on Saturday, is for those reasons. To ensure that, first, transportation is sorted, and transportation may not just be flight, but also internal transportation, because that was another issue we had in Afcon, where, in Bafusan, I'm sure you remember, and all of that, where we got stranded. So we are very much aware of those things, and then we hope that that will not happen again. We are traveling with someone who is the councillor of, because he's the chairman of this committee, I wish he is here, has done a lot of work. In fact, as we speak right now, we have teams in Ivory Coast who are operating there. So when we go, it's just a matter of making sure that, we confirm these things are in place and so forth. For the charter, which this question is specific, we are very much aware. I'm sure Musa told you how the travel is going to happen. But we can assure you we are looking at different options for the charter, that is taking the players from here to the official delegation from the Gambia, but also taking the fans from the Gambia. Because I think what was the issue was, after doing that fantastic performance, quarterfinalists, there was a hype in the Gambia. There was a high expectation that the team was going to arrive. And it didn't happen. It killed the spirit of everyone. And that was the pressure that we all had, and it was a missed opportunity. Because if we had arrived in the Gambia on that particular day, and the several days we had then identified, it didn't happen. So, and I think it's really, really unfortunate. But this time around, we hope we'll go, like Musa said, may God forbid, we want to go past the quarterfinals. But whatever the case, the minister stressed it last time in our meeting, the whole team will come back to the Gambia. And we are going to work towards that. I don't want to go into the nitty-gritties because it's work in progress. So when we come, we will get the exact stuff. But right now, I can assure you, I can just give you assurance that there's a whole team working on this. We've even added the president in the group because people is a diplomat, and so that he can help us. Because diplomacy also help in this. We have our offices in Ivory Coast, and I think the embassy in Sierra Leone overseas there, and all of these things. So we're going to use all the avenues to ensure that this time around we don't have logistic problems. Even journalists, we are stranded. And you will be catered for. But that would not happen again. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Jazzy. Just to clarify, add on to what Amadou was asking out there. Last time around, there was an involvement of a third party in the hiring of an aircraft. This time around, that is not happening. We're directly dealing with the airline. So this is a business environment in which so many things can happen. But to make sure that I hope I answered that question, there is no third party. It's directly dealing with the airline. As soon as we are done, we already want to go. We activate our clause that's going to send us home, get us that flight in 24 hours. We should be home. In your question regarding the timeline, the time frame for what we're doing, the time frame is set already. The drive is on. This is just to publicize it here today. We're going out now. The timeline was that this week, before then, next week we'll start following up on all the businesses that are being approached for partnerships. The events that will be raising funds will be publicized as soon as we confirm everything. Concerts, fundraising events, the dinner, with the president. And yes, because the team will be also negotiating behind closed doors who is coming on board, what you're bringing in, how do we accommodate you, what do we give you in return. What we are also saying that I want need to make this thing open. Any business that happens to give us something like $10 million is, when you say $10 million, that's so much money in Gambia, everything is big. We will fly we will take three of your business. We'll fly 3 staff of yours, whether they are individuals. We'll provide them accommodation, we'll provide them with fares, everything. So it's up to you to give them their allowances of what you want, but the NCC, the organization, will give you 3 tickets that will be joining the flight, everything taken care of. So if you give less, I think there is, I think one individual along the line. So these are just attractions, making sure that besides the identification, besides the image rights that you have, besides the publicities, because let's be honest, most of the times we've been abusing our national team. Most of the times we have been abusing our national team, our players. Most of us had no rights to do some of the things that we do in their name and their images, but it's a privilege, and it's not done. And we should know better. Some of us should know better. But because we refuse, and we should use some of these forums to educate ourselves, to make sure that we come up to speed, we raise our game in making sure that we respect the people on the other end. And that's also, what our players can do and what they are about starts from us. If we give them the respect they deserve, if we give them the due promotion that they deserve, not in contest, but as an individual, we raise their profiles, we support them, we make sure that they are seen in the best of light. But that's not happening to us most of the time.